The Ahsoka series could have been the best Disney Plus show up to date if it addressed these 10 problems. Problem 1. Marek. For a while, it was widely speculated that Marek was Galen Marek due to his similar style, voice, and Sam Witwer being blatantly mentioned in the credits. It was almost like they were purposely marketing it for everyone to tune in, just to see if Starkiller was actually part of canon, only for him to get killed off as some ghost spirit thing that didn't even get an explanation. It would have been better to just have Marek be Starkiller as the big bad guy at the end of the show, instead of Thrawn. 2. The world between worlds. Another marketing gimmick. The middle of the show made it seem like everything was going in a completely different direction. When it seemed like Ahsoka died and met Anakin, a whole bunch of speculation was made into what was going to happen. Then she quickly came back to life, and the whole plot was sidelined. Even if what Ahsoka did was more of a dream experience, there should have been more time given to the flashback sequences. 3. Baylan and Shin. One of the best things about the series as a whole was the introduction of these two characters. They should have gotten more attention, and a backstory should have been given either through dialogue or flashbacks. They should have been the sole antagonists and gotten double the amount of time that they did. 4. Thrawn. It should go without saying that Thrawn was a major disappointment. He looked like shit. They should have just casted someone else for the role, because even though they used the same voice actor from Rebels, you couldn't hear a word he was saying. It would have been better to just focus on Baylan and Shin and save him for a movie in the future, when he could be done right. 5. There was way too much going on. Less is really more. The show went from Ahsoka's arc to Sabine, to Hera, to Thrawn, to the Night Sister and the other Night Sisters, to clones, to Anakin, to random rebel court hearings, to Ezra and his turtles. It was just too much to follow in too little time. Rebels has like 15-22 episodes a season, whereas this was 8 episodes, so it basically being another season of Rebels was doomed from the start. 6. The finale sucked. Sabine randomly using the Force, unclimatic battles. There just wasn't much there. Episodes 4 to 5 were better than the finale. Maybe this was done on purpose to try and fix the filler problem with Mando Season 3, but every episode should count, especially the last 2. It seemed like the series would have been better as a standalone movie without so many dull parts. Also, the finale could have spent more time exploring the Mortis storyline, instead of just showing a Mount Rushmore version of them. If Starkiller was Marek, the underlying theme of the show should have been focused on Ahsoka, and Marek being the new son and daughter. 7. Slow to start. The beginning didn't really spark any attention either. There were too many moments with people just looking around to pass time. There wasn't an engaging plot from the start at all. Again, a movie could have solved this problem. 8. Combat. Most Disney shows besides The Mandalorian have really struggled to make any good combat scenes. It seems to be more of an effort issue because the Baylan versus Ahsoka first fight was done well in contrast with the rest of the series. It could also be the stunt coordinators and training behind the scenes as well. 9. The series didn't capitalize. The show seemed to really get good towards the middle, but it quickly died off. Perhaps Ahsoka should have just been a live-action sequel of the Clone Wars instead of Rebels due to its interest. The best part of the show was seeing Ahsoka and Anakin in live action. There should have been more of this. They could have spent more time showing pivotal moments of hers from the Clone Wars in live action, or even an episode where she is trapped in her past self and has to figure out a way to travel in the world between worlds to get back to her present state. Something could have been done to prolong this great piece of the show. And 10. Ahsoka maybe just isn't meant for live action, or as a main character. Ahsoka was always Anakin's apprentice. This issue could have been fixed by still keeping Ahsoka in her apprentice role. Instead of just showing Anakin's face at the very end of the season, he could have visited Ahsoka several times throughout the show to help her with everything going on. These moments would have been heart-melting for fans and wouldn't have left the impression that so much is being saved for Season 2, even with the franchise being on shaky ground.